Cats are often seen as calm, independent creatures, but they can occasionally exhibit sudden bursts of energy that leave their owners wondering what just happened. One of the more puzzling behaviors that many cat owners observe is when their cat becomes overly affectionate and, just moments later, seems to flip into a state of hyperactivity or aggression. This can be seen when a cat suddenly starts running around the house, attacking toys, or even nipping at its owner's hands or legs after an extended period of petting and cuddling. This phenomenon, often referred to as petting aggression or hypersensitivity, is something that baffles many cat owners. Understanding why cats behave this way requires a deeper dive into feline psychology, instincts, and the complex relationship they have with their human companions. One of the primary reasons that cats may appear to go from affectionate to aggressive or hyperactive is due to their unique sensory processing and how their nervous system reacts to physical touch. Cats are highly sensitive animals, especially when it comes to their skin, fur, and the areas of their bodies that are being touched. When a cat is petted, especially in areas like the back or the head, it experiences a variety of physical sensations. In most cases, cats enjoy being petted and show signs of affection by purring, kneading, and relaxing into the touch. However, this pleasant interaction can quickly switch to overstimulation if the petting continues for too long or in areas that the cat is more sensitive about. The sensation of being petted can release a flood of endorphins in a cat's brain, which creates a feeling of pleasure. However, when the petting becomes too intense or prolonged, it can overload the cat's sensory system. The feeling of the fur being brushed or stroked can become irritating or uncomfortable for the cat, leading to a sudden shift in mood. Essentially, the cat may reach a point where its nervous system becomes overstimulated, and the sudden burst of energy or aggression is a way for the cat to reset or cope with this overwhelming sensory input. In many cases, this behavior is not a sign of anger or dislike, rather, it's simply the cat's way of saying that it has had enough and needs a break from the physical contact. Another factor that contributes to the sudden change in behavior after petting is the cat's instinctual nature. Cats, as predators, are highly attuned to their environment and constantly monitor their surroundings for potential threats or opportunities. While they may enjoy affection and human interaction, they still retain many of their wild instincts. The act of petting can mimic some of the physical cues that might trigger a predatory response. For example, the stroking motion may simulate the feeling of being pounced on or touched by another animal, which, in the wild, could signify an impending threat or an opportunity to play. In this sense, the sudden surge of energy or aggression could be an instinctual reaction to what the cat perceives as a stimulus that requires it to fight or flee in response. The change in behavior can also be attributed to how cats engage with their human companions. Unlike dogs, who have been domesticated to bond closely with humans and actively seek out physical interaction, cats are more independent and selective in their social behavior. While many cats enjoy the company of their human family members, they also value their personal space and can become overwhelmed if they feel their boundaries are being pushed too far. Cats are known for their on-demand affection. They may come to you for petting or attention, but only for a brief period. If the interaction goes on too long or the cat feels cornered or trapped by your touch, it may react by suddenly becoming playful or aggressive to create space and regain control of the situation. Moreover, the petting aggression phenomenon can also be linked to the cat's body language and territorial instincts. Cats have specific areas of their body that they enjoy being touched, such as under the chin, behind the ears, or along the back. However, other areas, such as the belly, legs, or tail, can be more sensitive and might trigger a defensive reaction if touched for too long. If a cat feels that its personal boundaries are being invaded, it may respond with a sudden burst of energy or an aggressive play attack to assert its space. This is especially common in cats that have not been fully socialized or that are more sensitive to touch. The cat may be communicating that it is uncomfortable or overstimulated and that it wants the interaction to stop. Hormonal fluctuations can also play a role in the intensity of a cat's behavior. For example, intact male cats or female cats in heat are more likely to exhibit increased aggression or hyperactive behavior. These hormonal changes can make a cat more irritable or sensitive to touch, amplifying the petting aggression response. Cats that are experiencing these hormonal changes may react more strongly to petting, especially if they are already feeling agitated or frustrated. This is a natural part of the cat's reproductive cycle and is not a sign of an underlying behavioral issue. Additionally, the type of cat can influence how likely it is to exhibit petting aggression. Some cats are naturally more tolerant of human interaction and enjoy being petted for longer periods, while others may only tolerate short bursts of affection before becoming overstimulated. Breed, personality, and early experiences with humans can all contribute to how a cat reacts to petting. For example, breeds that are more independent, such as the Russian Blue or the British Shorthair, may be more prone to sudden bursts of energy or aggression during petting sessions, while more affectionate breeds like the Ragdoll or the Siamese may tolerate longer petting sessions without issue. It is also worth noting that each individual cat is unique, and its reaction to petting will depend on its past experiences and comfort level with human interaction. The way petting aggression manifests can vary from cat to cat. Some cats may simply stop the petting session by walking away, while others may engage in more aggressive behaviors, such as nipping, scratching, or swatting. In some cases, the cat may even display an intense burst of energy, running around the house or zooming from one room to another. This is often referred to as the zoom eyes, and is a common behavior in cats that have an excess of energy to burn off. These energetic outbursts can occur after petting, particularly if the cat has been overstimulated, and are a way for the cat to release pent-up energy and reset its mood. To avoid triggering petting aggression, it's important to understand your cat's boundaries and recognize the signs of overstimulation. Some cats may start to twitch their tails, flatten their ears, or pull away from your hand when they've had enough petting. These subtle cues indicate that the cat is no longer enjoying the interaction and that it's time to stop. The best way to prevent petting aggression is to keep petting sessions short and to give your cat plenty of opportunities to retreat to a quiet space when it feels overwhelmed. Learning to read your cat's body language is key to creating a positive and mutually respectful interaction. In some cases, petting aggression can be exacerbated by previous negative experiences, such as a cat that was abused or not properly socialized as a kitten. Cats that have not been exposed to positive human interactions during their critical socialization period may be more sensitive to touch and more likely to react aggressively or hyperactively when petted. These cats may need extra patience and a gradual approach to building trust and comfort with physical affection. The phenomenon of cats suddenly going crazy after being affectionate, often referred to as petting aggression or hypersensitivity, is a complex behavior that stems from a variety of factors, including sensory overload, instinctual reactions, territorial boundaries, and hormonal fluctuations. While it can be confusing or surprising for cat owners, it is a natural part of feline behavior. Understanding the underlying reasons for this behavior and paying attention to your cat's cues can help ensure a more positive and enjoyable experience during petting sessions. Cats are incredibly complex creatures, and their sudden bursts of energy or aggression are simply another example of their unique and fascinating personalities.